Welcome to the Finding Joy in the Journey podcast. This is Sheridan Ripley from Enjoy Life. I'm a wife and a mother of 3 boys ranging from 22 down to 14. I'm an author of 5.5 books. I love teaching my online classes, Essentials to Enjoy Life, and other fun classes, and I also enjoy one-on-one coaching with my clients. I am so excited that you joined me here today as I share some tips and tools to help you find joy in your journey through life. Today, we're going to be talking about the 4 steps so you can marvel in all the uncertainty in your life. Today with COVID, there's a lot of uncertainty and it doesn't seem to be letting up. So that's why I decided to do this podcast. I am a planner. I usually spend the spring, starting in like February, March, I guess it's more winter in some places, carefully planning out the summer. The camps that my boys would do, the vacations, filling the days with that perfect blend of fun and relaxation. Well, COVID-19 this year ruined our plans. Our summer plans were shot. We had a couple vacations planned. We had some camps planned for my son. I felt really defeated and the summer just felt so uncertain. I felt so overwhelmed and disappointed. I really hate change. And so COVID-19 is giving me lots of opportunities, the perfect opportunity to learn about change and kind of embracing uncertainty because it seems like there'll be a lot of uncertainty in the near future. And actually, there always has been uncertainty. It just hasn't been so in our face. Maybe some plans didn't work out, but it wasn't like all plans got destroyed at one time. So definitely we have lots of opportunity to learn right now. So let me teach you 4 steps to deal with uncertainty. The first is to question and acknowledge. Second, change your thoughts. Third, step forward with faith. And fourth, marvel in the mystery. Question and acknowledge. So I'm going to use summer as an example. What did I lose? First, go ahead and acknowledge what it is that you lost and cry about it if you need to. Don't spend all summer. I mean, it's already the middle of summer, guys, but still things are happening. What happened is I turned the page for July and I had to erase all these things we had planned, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feel sad and maybe cry about it, but not for all of July. I'm going to spend maybe an hour feeling sad about it, feeling those feelings, acknowledging it. It's okay to be sad. Remember that. All vibrations are normal because we're human. However, I really like to try to shift up to at least neutrality pretty quickly. So if you haven't listened to my podcast on the trifecta of neutrality, curiosity, and courage, go ahead and listen to that because that can help you shift up if you need to. So once you've acknowledged what you lost, then go ahead and think about what is it that I actually wanted. With summer, what I actually wanted was I only have one child at home right now, so I wanted him to not be bored, right? I wanted him to have some fun things to do. I also was looking forward to, he's going to have 2 camps where he's away from home. I was looking forward to some alone time with my husband and also just some fun connecting experiences as a family as we went on some trips. So I kind of listed that out. I love just making lists, writing things down. What did I actually want? And then you want to ask, what do I have? What can I actually now create? And what I have is plenty of time to create things just in a different way than maybe I'd anticipated at first. So once you are able to question and acknowledge and kind of take some notes and get a feel of what's going on and what your options are, then you can go to the next step, which is to change your thoughts. Once I looked at the thoughts I was having before I did this, I kind of had like my summer is shot. That was my main thought. The summer shot, like this is going to suck. Those were my 2 main thoughts. So I met with a friend and we coached each other. It was really helpful to be able to kind of bounce our thoughts off each other and come up with some new positive thoughts. So for the first time ever, since I had little kids, my summer was wide open. As a family, we brainstormed some ideas from doable to crazy. It was kind of fun. One of my crazy ideas was to do a cross-country ice cream tour. My 14-year-old Bryson and I love to go and try different ice cream places. One of my ideas was we'll rent an RV, we'll drive across country to visit my parents because we were going to go to Chicago this summer to visit my parents, and we'll just stop at all the ice cream places along the way. My husband is working, so I don't feel comfortable driving an RV, so maybe that's a crazy idea, but it was kind of fun to just write it down. And that was the first thought that kind of got me excited to see that we could create something fun this summer, even if it wasn't our original plans. Then my other big positive thought was this is a time of connection and growth. because that's really what I wanted, was connection. Then I was able to sit down and figure out what can we do with our limitations with COVID, with traveling and limitation on camps. Like, what kind of connection things can we do? What kind of growth things can we do? We found a few online classes that Bryson could do, and even an online camp that he's excited about. It really helped to get all of us a little bit more excited about the summer. Changing those thoughts, and I like to write down my new positive thoughts and stick them somewhere where I see them. So for me, I stick them on my refrigerator, and that way each time I open the fridge, I see these positive thoughts. The summer is wide open. This is a time of connection and growth. So it makes me excited instead of my previous feelings about the summer, which was disappointment. I love this quote by R.I. Fitzhenry. Uncertainty and mystery are energies of life. Don't let them scare you unduly, for they keep boredom at bay and spark creativity. So I really felt that with the mystery of the summer and realizing that it could spark creativity. And we have come up with some fun things. We haven't done our cross-country ice cream tour yet, but we still have 6 weeks left. So who knows? The summer is wide open. Another great quote by Margaret Atwood was, "When nothing is sure, everything is possible." This was a really fun thing for me to do. When I realized that part of my issue was all the uncertainty, I went and looked up positive quotes about uncertainty. That also helped me come up with some good new positive thoughts. Our next step is to step forward with faith. This is challenging in today's time because things keep changing all the time. But I find if I focus on smaller increments of time, that seems more reasonable for this particular period of time. So I'm not going to plan 5 weeks out, but I will plan for this week, kind of week by week and day by day. What do I want to create today? And figure that out. And what maybe could we do in this next week and figure that out? We are not typically very spontaneous people. We like to plan, as evident by my summer being planned out by like February or March. But we've been more spontaneous this summer. We had the chance to go to Lake Powell with our family. And what happened is I got a sore throat the day before we were supposed to leave. I was really stressed out because we had been pretty much self-quarantining. But, I'd gone to the grocery store and things like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get tested for COVID because I don't want to bring it and share it with the family we were going to Lake Powell with. So I got tested for COVID, but it was going to take a few days to get the results. And we were supposed to leave the next day. I knew the earliest we'd be able to leave would be Monday. So I got tested on Saturday, and we decided to move forward with faith as if we would be able to go. So we packed up and we said lots of prayers, and we just kind of moved forward as if we would go. We actually did get the call at Monday at noon, and I didn't have COVID. I was very grateful, and we decided we would just head out to Lake Powell. Now, mind you, the people we were meeting have very limited cell reception, and they were on their boat camping, so they had already boated out to their campsite. We would have very limited reception driving there, so we just went on faith that they would get our message that we were coming and that somehow we would be able to connect up. Again, so not like us. We did have a backup plan that we'd camp at Goblin Valley if we didn't hear from them by the time we got there and then connect with them the next day. Divine timing, guys. I believe in that we can pray and ask God to help us, that God can send angels to let them know, hey, you got to check your messages and whatever. And they will help. God will help us. It was crazy. I guess they were at the campground and all of a sudden Ben's like, we need to go check messages right now. And they hopped in the little boat and drove out to the middle of the lake, got the message and called us right then. That was exactly when we got to Price, which is one little area where we actually had reception. And we talked and we set a time that they would meet us. It was like divine timing. We got to the place where they'd pick us up, and 20 minutes later someone was there to pick us up and take us out to the campsite. To me, this was such a powerful example of stepping forward with faith. I guess powerful for me because it's not something I ever normally would do. Again, COVID has given me so many opportunities to do things outside my normal comfort zone. We went and we had a fun time. We made some great memories, and I'm so glad it all worked out. But we had to step forward with faith. I love this quote by Bob Goff. It says, "Embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later." So I think about that. Like, what if we do go across country, right, and eat ice cream along the way? That would be then the summer of cross-country ice cream, right? It's like we're in the process of making chapters in our lives, but we might not be able to give them that title until later. I just really love that. So I'm going to read it again. Embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later. So that's leads us to our fourth step, which is called Marvel in the Mystery. And I'm going to read one more quote. Again, found lots of uncertainty quotes. This is by M. Scott Peck. And he said, "Abandon the urge to simplify everything, to look for formulas and easy answers, and begin to think multidimensionally, to glory in the mystery and paradoxes of life. Not to be dismayed by the multitude of causes and consequences that are inherent in each experience, to appreciate the fact that life is complex." So that's where I got the idea of marvel in the mystery, from his quote of glory in the mystery. And I think that's tricky as humans, especially if we're planners. However, for me, I can see the beauty in it much more now that I've had to really live in this place of mystery. What is our future holding? How's that going to look? How can I find peace in the moment? And all the tools that I've learned over the past 10 years have really helped me. And that's one reason why I started this podcast, was to help share these tools with others, with you, so that you can find more joy in your journey, even when there's these mysterious changes that come up, and how we can handle them with grace. I am still going to make plans. However, I'm going to do it while embracing the uncertainty of our future and marveling in that mystery. What will it look like? I don't know for sure. However, I can create things in short-term little packets as we go. And keeping in mind, there never actually has been certainty. We just thought there was. And maybe this can help us be more comfortable being in this place where uncertainty is more certain and we can be courageous in creating something new. Be curious. What can I create with the limitations we have? What are the hidden blessings? Can I be neutral about this situation? And again, going back and listening to the Curiosity, Courage, and Neutrality podcast may help with that. Our big uncertain thing for us with kids coming up is school. What will school look like in the fall? And that's our next certain uncertainty. And again, I can plan ahead to some extent. I can definitely question and acknowledge, like go through these steps, like what might we lose? We might lose our kids going to school every day, having certain experiences we thought they would have. Well, what do we want? What do I want for my son that's going to school? I want him to be able to learn what he needs to learn. I want him to have a supportive school environment. I'd love for him to have some social interactions in appropriate ways, whatever that looks like. And then what do we have? Well, I have the opportunity to send him back to the local school if I want. He's at a charter school. I could go to the other school. I could choose to have him just do online high school if I wanted. And that's something I might look into. Actually started looking into, but I might really seriously look into if it looks like we'll be doing online school in the fall. Then I might just want an actual school that specializes in that. We have options. And then I want to change my thoughts. My attitude can help things go more smoothly. My son has his own emotions about the uncertainty of school. Me being calm and peaceful about it can help him, at least help me be in a place to help him through his emotions. Because I honor his confusion or worry about uncertainty. Me being more calm can help him. So I will focus on the things I can control and step forward with faith. So I was a birth doula for years, so I'm going to have a lot of birth analogies probably through my podcast. And when I had moms that had had cesareans but were going for a VBAC or a vaginal birth after cesarean, a lot of them were worried, well, what if I need another cesarean? And so I always suggested that they would make a cesarean birth plan. If you could devise your ideal cesarean birth, what would it look like? And we'd write up a birth plan, and then we'd tuck it in their birth bag and know that it's there so they didn't have to worry about it anymore. And then they could move forward with faith with their vaginal birth plan, right? Knowing that if anything came up, they had a backup plan. So that's what I'm going to do with school. Like, I'm going to step forward with faith that things are going to be good. I honestly, I'm not even sure what that's going to look like, but right now I'm just moving forward with faith that things will turn out and my son will succeed. He will do fine, knowing I can have a backup plan that I could switch to online high school, like that's meant for online high school. But I'm going to focus on what I want right now, which is him to be able to go to school and being interacting with his friends and doing all the fun things that he is looking forward to in high school. And then I will marvel in the mystery. I will know it's mysterious. Who knows what's going to happen? But with curiosity, courage, and neutrality, I can stay in that grounded place to support him through his uncertainty and me as well. Those are the steps that I'm taking as I look forward to our next certain uncertainty of school in the fall. Wrapping it up, let's review those 4 steps again to dealing with uncertainty. 1, question and acknowledge what you lost, what you have, and what you can hope for. And then work on changing your thoughts. Acknowledge the ones that aren't so positive and change them to more positive ones. Then step forward with faith, focusing on what it is you want. And go ahead and marvel in the mystery. You know there's mystery. Try and marvel in it instead of worrying about it, which is challenging. However, it is possible. Thanks for listening here today. I'm so grateful that I have my listeners. I love hearing from you. Please subscribe. I do love the reviews. Go ahead and support me by leaving 5 stars or leaving me a review. I love that. And also, thanks for sharing with your friends, because that's how this podcast and the information that I'm sharing gets spread to the world around us. I hope you have a great day and enjoy.